Top 10 Most Stressful Jobs. The early months of a new year, following the fourth quarter and holidays, is a chaotic time in almost any profession, and it's also a popular time to reflect on work-related stress. What situations cause it the most, however? How does it affect our work, and what can we do to prevent it? For some workers, however, stressful situations are part of the job. Well, everybody, the time has finally arrived. Here are the top 10 most stressful jobs in the world. Welcome back to Top 5 Best, everybody. Before this video starts, I want you to go down right now and hit that like button. Also, while you're down there, make sure to subscribe for more videos. If you do subscribe, then also hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so that way you get every piece of content that this channel puts out. Now here's a real treat. If you have liked this video and you are subscribed to us, write down in the comments "I subscribed" and I'll reply back to 100 lucky individuals. Number 10. Teacher. Okay, this I really do find understandable. Having to deal with crazy kids and teens, dodging spitballs and checking every nook and cranny for thumbtacks on that chair they sit on every day, all along with having to grade papers and tests, that's just crazy. First of all, teachers are never going to get rich teaching. Second, most teachers are working well outside the times between the first and final bell by grading papers, going over curriculum. Thirdly, teachers have an unbelievably crucial responsibility to shape the minds of young people and properly prepare them for life after graduation. Failing to do so literally endangers the future for both the students and society in general. And finally, let's not forget, there's the stress of dealing with most students every day. That's normally enough stress right there to last a lifetime. Just be nice to your teachers, boys and girls. They're doing their best to prepare you for the real world. Number 9. Social worker. Imagine being placed into emergency situations where potential abuse or violence is taking place. No one else wants to step in, so it falls to you to deal with the aftermath, and you're getting paid peanuts for this, by the way. Welcome to the life of a social worker. Social workers have to advocate for those who are often in dire straits and dealing with one or more crises. While they do help families plan next steps and offer education on various topics, they also must be an understanding and sympathetic ear while witnessing heartbreaking family and personal situations. Add to that the fact that social programs are constantly underfunded, yet the demand constantly grows, and you have fewer dedicated social workers trying to do more work with less support. Wonder how stressed these social workers are anyways. Kinda depressing. They sit there all day having to hear about people's problems, and I wonder if social workers have their own social worker for that. Number 8. Newspaper reporter. Life as a print journalist is not easy. First of all, the pay is low and very few strike it rich as a newspaper reporter. However, the reasons the stress levels are so high are because the job is demanding in many respects. This is a job with long and unpredictable hours, covering meetings, trials, and breaking news. It's not uncommon to work all day on a story, receive follow-up calls from editors well after you've handed the story in, and then get called in the middle of the night to cover a murder or major accident. Good reporters are never really off duty. Also, the industry is not faring well at the moment because leaders still haven't figured out a way to adequately monetize the product. That means many papers are downsizing, with even some shutting down completely, as fewer reporters try to do more with less. This is a stressful issue that looms over almost every reporter at the moment. The newspaper industry is dying at this point. Everything is being turned into all electronic distributors, so the pay even at this point in the electronic era is also as low. Number 7. Emergency dispatcher. You know those people that answer when you call 911? Yeah, that's the first half of this job's title as a big tip-off as to why it's on our stressful jobs list. When people call for police and firefighters for help, officers and firefighters respond. But those officials only get to where they're going because of the dispatchers, who are at the front lines of many emergencies and who often mean the difference between life and death. Dispatchers not only have to collect the address from the caller and pass it on to police, they are relied upon by first responders to ensure safety. For instance, a dispatcher may have to give life-saving information to the caller, such as how to perform CPR or the Heimlich, all the while relaying information to responding personnel. And those officers need the dispatcher to find out how many people are in a building, if anyone is injured, armed, etc. Mistakes by dispatchers can end with people getting hurt or in extreme circumstances killed. Stay safe out there, people. You never know what's gonna happen. Number 6. ER nurse. A stressful job to say the least. When you're taken into the ER, these are the nurses that check your vitals, or if by any chance you're at an unstable condition, these are the people that make sure you get back to the good stable condition so that way a doctor can come and fix you up in surgery, or whatever you may need. The emergency room of any hospital is a hectic and chaotic place. Medical professionals are running every which way to determine who is a priority and who needs which treatments. There's trauma almost everywhere you look, not to mention blood and other bodily fluids. Nurses are the link between patients and doctors, and are responsible for much of the routine care before and during treatment. Everything from catheters to getting patients another warm blanket is done by a nurse. Doctors rely on them, and patients rely on them as well, and when mistakes are made regarding people's health, the results can be catastrophic. Number 5. Police officer. Okay, I mean, yeah, they're stressed out because even though they flash their lights at me as I'm going 120 on the freeway. Okay, that's a bad joke, I'm sorry about that. Don't mess with the law though, follow it. Police officers never know what they'll be dealing with on any particular shift, from breaking up domestic disputes to high-speed chases to shootouts. Honestly, at first, it could be any of that. Even routine speeding tickets can turn deadly at a moment's notice, which is why police officers can never drop their guard for a second. Stay safe out there, officers. Number 4. Commercial airline pilot. Yeah, nothing more stressful than flying at an altitude of 39,000 feet and knowing that you have to get approximately over 100 plus people to a certain destination safe and sound. That's exactly what commercial airline pilots do day after day. Sure, the technology today is advanced and some people claim the planes basically fly themselves, but try telling that to pilots like Captain Chelsea Sullenberger, who had to land his plane in the Hudson River when he encountered engine problems.
We're going to brace.
Pull up. Pull up.
Pilots who make mistakes risk being the cause of hundreds of deaths, making this a well-earned spot on our list. Ugh, I hate airplanes. Can never sleep on those things, always keeping my guard up just in case some ninjas come out and try to take control of the plane. One day this will happen and I will be ready. Come at me, ninjas! Come at me! Number 3. Firefighter. Yeah, this was going to fall on the list sooner or later, so don't be surprised. Firefighters choose an occupation that consists of running into a burning building when everybody else is trying like hell to get out. This is yet another profession on our list that only exists because people are in dire straits and in need of rescue. And while much of the job is battling infernos at home, schools, and offices, many firefighters are also licensed EMTs who assist at accident scenes and other endeavors, like water rescues as well. Working conditions are hazardous and dangerous to one's health. Lives are on the line each and every shift, and the very real possibility of burning to death or seeing someone burned exists at all times. It's the very definition of stressful. Let's be honest here. How would you feel running into a 1,000-degree flame and at the same time trying to save people's lives? Number 2. Surgeon. Yep, even I know how stressful this is. You guys ever played Surgeon Simulator? That's the hardest game ever. Well, imagine it being real life, and that is a real human corpse right in front of you. It's no longer a game. I understand it's easy to look at that salary and wonder how anything can be stressful when you're making that much money. But, hear me out. Surgeons are literally cutting you open. Sometimes they take bad stuff out, other times they put good stuff in, and most other times they're fixing what's wrong. But the fact remains, these highly trained and qualified people are cutting you to operate on you and tinker with your insides. Anytime you're dealing with opening up the human body, there's a large amount of stress involved. As a surgeon, you're responsible for the life of the person and on the table each and every time, and with so many things that can go wrong as you battle to make it right, it has to take a toll knowing one mistake, one wrong move, means you're forever responsible for someone dying. Number 1. Enlisted military personnel. The hardest and most stressful job, bottom line. This job consists of going through basic training, learning the skills necessary to fight in combat, and then going over to a foreign country if necessary to go up against enemy forces. It is a job that all too often involves killing or being killed. Watching the back of the person next to you and witnessing unthinkable acts of horror and violence. And even if soldiers make it home, they still have to battle things like PTSD. The kicker is, it's a job for which everyone volunteers. In my book, there's nothing more stressful than war and protecting freedom, which is why this job lands number 1 on our list with great respect. This was a much more somber video, and I do apologize for that, but our next video will be much more lighthearted. Before this video ends, however, I would like to take a moment to thank all of our armed personnel, police officers, and firefighters for protecting us every day of our lives, whether we want them to or not. That's our video for today. Remember to give us a like and maybe even subscribe to us. See y'all next video.